Hello and welcome. I am Valerie Burke and I'm the Assistant Dean for Graduate Student Services here at UNLV, and I am thrilled to welcome you to our 11th annual Rebel Grad Slam 3-minute thesis competition. The 3-minute thesis, or 3MT competition model, was developed at the University of Queensland in Australia in 2008. It spread to other universities in Australia and in New Zealand in 2009 and 2010. By 2011, the 3MT competition phenomenon had spread around the globe, and now more than 600 universities from more than 65 countries hold these competitions. In 2014, UNLV held our first 3MT, the Rebel Grad Slam, and this year is our 11th annual Research Rumble. The 3MT is a fantastic opportunity for students to learn how to convey who they are, what they study, why they study it, how they study it, and what they have found or expect to find, and why it matters to an audience of folks who are mostly outside their field. It's an opportunity to build public speaking and communication skills and to polish one's elevator speech describing what they study as graduate students. It's worth noting that our slammers come from all over campus and from a wide range of disciplines. Some are first-year students, some are in their final year. Some slammers are master's students, others are advanced doctoral candidates. It's a diverse pool of over 90 graduate students competing here this week. So today we have a group of UNLV graduate students who have been randomly assigned to compete in this preliminary session. Each will present their research in 3 minutes or less using one slide and no props. We will introduce each student and then start the timer. If a student goes over 3 minutes, they will be eliminated from the competition. Slammers are encouraged to pace themselves and use their 3 minutes without going over. It's not easy, but it's what the 3MT is all about. Slammers, please make sure to keep your microphone on mute and video off when other competitors are presenting. Only turn on your microphone and video when you are presenting. Please be sure to stay for the entire session, even after you are done presenting. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat in between presenters. Please don't use the chat during anyone's presentations as it may be distracting. You may sit or stand during your presentation. You have 2 minutes and 59 seconds and only one chance to compete. After I introduce you, our Zoom host will advance to your presentation slide. You may then begin your presentation. Once you begin speaking, we will start the timer, and you will not be able to restart your presentation unless something beyond your control occurs. You will be able to see the Zoom timer at the top of your screen once you start talking. Please don't stop unless I stop you. Don't worry though, if you lose Wi-Fi or are disconnected, please just join back in. We will wait a minute for you and then go to the next presenter. If that happens, you can redo your presentation at the end. And please remember that you may not read your presentation or use any notes on your screen or in front of you. Now let's turn our attention to the scoring for this research rumble. The judges will be assessing the competitors on metrics which total 24 possible points in 4 major areas: comprehension, content, engagement, and communication. Each judge will independently score each competitor. Judges who will not penalize competitors for unanticipated disruptions that may be on the slammer's control. At the end of the presentations, we will tally the judges' combined scores for each grad slammer and announce the winners right here live. The top 3 in this session will advance to the semifinals. I'd like to note that this round of the competition is happening live in Zoom and will be simultaneously aired on the Graduate College's YouTube channel. And to give you a sense of this year's competition, over 90 students are competing in the preliminary rounds. Around 36 will move on to semifinals, and only about 9 will advance to the finals that will be held at 4 p.m. on this Friday, November 8th. So without further ado, let me introduce the judges, and then we will get on with our 3MT Research Rumble. We have a set of very distinguished judges in today's sessions. Judges, please feel free to turn on your screen and do a brief wave when I introduce your name. We have Susie Sackel from Libraries. We have Raphael Oganesian from Academic Affairs. We have Ashley Blackwell from the College of Liberal Arts. We have Aixian Sun from Lee Business School and Javier Rodriguez from Sciences. Welcome and thank you for serving on our panel of judges today. I see we have a question. Yes, go ahead. I see a hand raised. Oh, maybe you're just waving.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you. Okay. So
sorry, I couldn't find a way to turn on my video. That's why.
It's perfect. Thank you. So we're ready to begin the competition. Our first presenter is Maizie, Dyess. So if you'd like to turn on your screen, your video there. And now I will turn it over to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm an alternative school teacher. Let me paint that picture for you. I'm basically a regular science teacher without a science lab, except for the mandatory morning and random searches throughout the day, the constant calls to get a student escort for the bathroom, the counting of tiny little golf pencils before and after every period with no erasers, the strict no contact guidelines, no high fives, no fist bumps, and the dreary sea of black and brown uniforms and frowning faces. Disciplinary alternative schools have been painted as a poster child for education reform, yet they continue to add barriers between our students and the equitable education they deserve. If you were to do a quick Google search of education in alternative schools, you'd probably see what's on my slide. Vegas has 3 alternative schools or academic centers that serve students through 6th through 12th grade who have committed severe disciplinary infractions. Academic centers also provide required courses in a structured environment that emphasize self-control, social interactions, and life skills. When students are released, they might return to their comprehensive school. When you look at these schools all together, the first thing you notice is the punitive infrastructure right from the start. Once you get past these front gates and you spend a few months with the students inside, you start to realize some things that Google didn't tell you. The district is heavily pushing severe disciplinary infractions, yet they fail to mention the students that are here for protecting themselves, their friends, and their family, the students that were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and the students that begged for help and just got another disciplinary referral. They also fail to mention that the majority of students in disciplinary school are Black and brown students, the most of them being boys. The district also leans heavily onto required courses in this structured environment, yet they fail to mention the scripted curriculum that teachers have to use, which is the furthest thing from relatable to our students. They also fail to mention how all supply ordering was cut last month due to funding issues of the district. The school I work at has a mission, as shown below. Everything we do is to break the link between race, ethnicity, and academic outcomes. That link is never going to be broken by using common scripted curriculums made by a for-profit company. That link is never going to be broken by using mandatory searches, increased police presence. The only thing that alternative schools need to do is promote educational reform. They're not doing that in Las Vegas because the school itself needs reform, along with those erasers on the pencils. Thank you.
Thank you. We will have, in between slammers, we're going to provide 60 seconds for judges, and I think we'll have a little music playing while we're waiting for the judges to score. Okay, let's queue up our next slammer. Kaylie, Kurland, there you are. Video works great. I will now turn it over to you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to talk to you a little bit this morning about student experiences of flow while playing place-based, culturally relevant math games. So I'm going to start off by explaining what is flow. You might have heard of it. It's originally something that was studied by Csikszentmihalyi, and they conceptualized flow as kind of a balance between having the skills to complete a task and the challenge of the task. So you can see on the graph here, point A is somebody who in their first position, they're in the flow state because they have the skills to meet the challenges that they have, but they can easily fall out of the flow state when their skills aren't there to meet their challenges and the challenges are too strong, or they have too much skill and the challenges aren't interesting enough. So then the theory is that when you increase one and the other to balance each other out, you can, have students in this flow state, which is like a highly motivational state that people enjoy. And so in this research, what I'm looking at is how do students experience flow? How do diverse students experience flow in higher education while they're playing a math game? So what I'm looking at is culturally relevant instruction is kind of something where students are supposed to connect with the social political kind of stance and culture of different parts of their field. And place-based instruction is something that's like connected specifically locally, like in our case to Las Vegas. So in the games that I'm using to do my thesis project, they were developed by a bunch of experts here at UNLV from different fields. So we have game design, education, and engineering professionals who created these games to support engineering students in higher education here in Nevada specifically. So we have games that we've created to highlight how do, students solve math problems which relate to the dangers of nuclear waste or other dangers to tribal communities. And so there's an example of the game on the slide. And what we found from the preliminary data collection is that students actually feel like flow while they play these games. And that is they feel that their thoughts are fluent, like they can just keep on playing naturally. It's easy to keep going. And they're also absorbed, like they don't notice what's happening around them, which is a good sign. So further research will hopefully show how diverse students experience flow. This project was funded by the NSF. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now play music while we wait for the judges. Next up, we have Dana Surwill. All right, and video looks great, so I will turn it over to you now, Dana.
Thank you. Imagine being unable to serve your country because of a preventable infection. Every year, thousands of military personnel face health challenges that hinder their ability to serve. Among these challenges, sexually transmitted infections, or STIs, pose a significant and alarming threat. In 2023, for every 100,000 Las Vegas residents, there were 843 diagnoses of an STI, a significantly high rate for completely preventable disease. With approximately 40 million people traveling here every year, the risk of infection increases. And a unique set of these residents and travelers are located in the northeast side of the valley at Nellis Air Force Base. My research focuses on the prevalence of STIs at Nellis Air Force Base to enhance prevention methods and educational strategies. As we investigate the trends and impacts of these infections, it becomes clear that STIs among military personnel are not just a health issue. It is a matter of national security. After all, every service member pulled away from duty due to an STI could affect mission readiness and ultimately the safety of our country. By a quick glance at the pie charts in front of you, you can tell that STIs impact certain demographics more than others, just like most diseases, except some STIs cannot be cured, causing a significant impact on a person's everyday life. Additionally, it was found that at Nellis Air Force Base, female service members are more likely to contract gonorrhea, whereas Hispanic and Latino service members are more likely to contract gonorrhea. While this was only a preliminary study, it demonstrated the need for targeted intervention strategies and longitudinal research to fully understand the scope of the STI problem at Nellis Air Force Base. But how do military personnel contracting STIs impact all of us? Well, STIs require treatment, some longer than others, but that will pull military personnel out of their jobs, out of their deployments, and most importantly, out of the mission, keeping America safe. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll now give the judges about a minute. Okay, next up we have Kris, Miguel. All right, I see you, Kris. I will now turn it over to you.
All right, thank you. So my name is Kris. I'm a second-year PhD student in the College of Education in the Teaching and Learning Department. Today, I'm going to be presenting some of my current dissertation research, which did take place before I started my dissertation, but it's now just taking the form of academic research. So what you see on the right-hand side of this slide here is a t-shirt actually that I was given by a student when I was the faculty advisor for the Gender and Sexuality Alliance at the most recent high school I taught at. And I think the shirt very well symbolizes me as a person because I've always been an out gay educator since I started teaching in 2018. And the shirt is a perfect symbol of the diversity of the LGBTQ community. I wasn't always out. In high school, I never saw people who looked like me in the curriculum, and especially in the English curriculum. I never had any interactions with LGBTQ figures at all. So because of that, my sexual identity was sort of invalidated by not seeing people like me. So that was one of the main reasons why I didn't come out of the closet until I was 25 years old. That besides the personal impetus for this research, there are a lot of anti-DEI movements going on in the country right now, specifically in states such as Florida and Texas. Texas specifically is making moves to expunge any mention of DEIJ in school curriculums and on institutional websites. So hopefully this research will act as a challenge to that and reinforce the importance of DEI, especially in a secondary school classroom context. Some of the theoretical frameworks I'm working with my research include queer theory, which is a method for examining institutional structures, people, and places in terms of their equitable and inclusivity for the LGBTQ community. I also am working with intersectionality, which is the idea that we have multiple identities that come together to make a whole persona. And one of those identities is sexual identity, which is what I focus on. And some of the people I've researched so far for my dissertation, some of the seminal work, some of the seminal people in the field are Ryan Shea, Mary Blackburn, and J.B. Mayo. They're kind of like the three wise men or wise women of the field that conduct similar research in terms of LGBTQ students, school curriculum, and their interactions with the curriculum and how they develop their sexual identity from it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will give our time to the judges. Hello and welcome back. We are ready to announce the winners live and here. So thank you all so much for joining us for the preliminary rounds. And thank you to the Graduate College team who have made this 3MT event possible. Let's see. While only the top 3 winners of this round will progress to the semifinals, you will all be winners of a Rebel Grad Slam t-shirt, and you can get yours during the Rebel Grad Slam finals reception. For the preliminary rounds, the first place winner will receive $300 scholarship. Second place winner will receive a $200, and third place will receive $100. So are you ready to hear the winners of this preliminary session? In third place, we have Maizie, Dyess. In second place, we have Kaylie, Kurland. And in first place, we have Dana, Surwill. So congratulations to our top 3 winners. Thank you again all for your participation, and we hope that everyone will join us for the semifinal rounds, which will be held on Thursday, November 7th. The 3 rounds will be at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and 1:30 in the Greenspun Auditorium. The finals will all be on this Friday, November 8th at 4 p.m. in Greenspun Auditorium as well. Lastly, we will have your Rebel Grad Slam t-shirts available at the finals reception at 5 p.m. in the Greenspun lobby. We welcome you to RSVP for the finals event. We will put the RSVP link now in the chat. Maybe we already did. Yes, we sure did. So yes, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or hang on for a minute. Congratulations and thank you all for participating, and thank you to our judges. Have a great day.